Hi everybody, it's Stacy from Quick Quotes, and I'm here today to walk you through our Club Q kits. So if you're a Club Q member, stay tuned with us because I'm going to walk you through step by step. If you are not a Club Q member and you're wondering what we're talking about, our Club Q is our monthly scrapbooking club where we send out brand new kits every single month, and they're exclusive to Club Q members for at least 3 or 4 months, so you get all the new stuff first. Each month you get 4 pages, so 2 double page layouts, plus you get an extra paper pack with ribbon, embellishments, quotes in it, an extra value each month. This is $32 a month and free shipping. So you get everything for $32, no extra shipping. If you were to sign up for Club Q, you also get free kits in your first shipment. So I will show you the kits here that you would get free if you were to sign up. And in your first shipment, we also send you 3 Powder Puff chalking inks free as well, plus a paper pack. So if you're not a Club Q member, check it out at shopquickquotes.com. and go to Club Q, and it'll show you the most current kit, and when you sign up we can ship it right out to you. And today we are going to go through step by step all of April's kits. So we have kind of a travel theme going, and we will get all set up. If you haven't purchased from Quick Quotes before, just so you know, we do Club Q, our monthly kit club. We do online live events, and we do in-person events, 3-day in-person events in the fall. So check out our website. If you have any questions, send us an email, give us a call, and we can get questions answered. But we are going to get started with April's Club Q kits. Okay, so we are going to get started. The kit we are putting together is our April Club Q layout, and this one is called We Can Find Fun Anywhere. So when we're done here, we will have this layout complete, and I'll walk you through step by step. It's pretty easy. It's just a lot of layering pieces. The very first step says to punch out all of your die cuts. I don't always punch them out in the very beginning. So here's a look at the layout that we're going to be doing, and then I'm going to move this out of the way and get started. This one has a few small words and different die cuts in here, so I don't always punch them out because I typically lose pieces when I do that. I'm gonna get a background page. So your background will be the white with the multicolored dot, and we'll start there. So if you want to, you can punch out all of your die cuts first, or you can kind of just grab them as I go. I have a few punched out here, but I'm gonna punch out the rest as I go. I did some of the bigger ones and had them ready here. We are going to get our cutting diagrams out of the way first. It's nothing too tricky, but we will get all the cutting done first here. The first one you want to cut is the 12 by 12 multi-stripe color stripe paper, and we are going to cut it to this diagram. So you should have a sheet of paper in there that has this diagram on it. If this is the first time you're doing our Club Q kits or Quick Quotes kits, just know that we always, whenever there's any sort of tricky cutting, we always put a diagram in there. A lot of times we actually have it already die cut for you, but right now we are going to go by this diagram. So what you want to do in your paper cutter, you want the stripes going horizontal in front of you. And as you can see here, we're going to cut off a 1/2 inch strip, 1/2 inch strip, 2 inch, 2 inch. So those are the cuts I'm going to make right now. Put it in your trimmer,
trim a 1/2 inch strip, and I just sit this right to the side so I have it handy when I'm ready to use it. 1/2 inch strip. And then, and actually I have to go 2 inches. So you want to put it at the 2, trim a 2 inch strip, another 2 inch strip, and then set those aside. And then okay, and then this, we are going to make a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 and a 4 by 6. Since the 4 1/4 is the longest, I'm going to make that cut first. So pull this paper over to 4 1/4. Oops. 4 1/4. Make your cut. And then we'll do 3 1/4. Turn it around, hit 3 1/4. And I'm actually going to rate this right on here because this is just a sample. So this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So you can see what I'm doing here. And so now we're making this 4 by 6. So since this is I'm going to cut this down to just 4. Oops. So I'm trying to multitask here. Get stuff out of my way. Okay, so I've cut this down to 4. Gonna trim that off and then turn this and cut at 6. So this is a 4 by 6. And of course you don't want to write on yours, but I'm doing mine just to make it easy to see what each one is. Okay, and then the next step would be to grab the white 4 1/4 by 12 sheet of paper, and that is going to be cut into a 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Sorry, I think I said, yeah, 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. So it's already cut at 4 1/2. So you turn it, cut it, trim it at 6 1/2. And then with what you have left, you want to slide that over and you will cut it at 2 3/4. Make sure you can see that. So you're at 2 3/4. And then each of these need to be 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to actually put them together. Trim at 3 1/4. And then we got some extra pieces there. So these are 2. So what did I say? 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. And this one is 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Okay, set those aside. And now you have a tan piece of paper that is 4 1/2 by 12, and then you have a 4 1/2 by 12 that is this green print here. And we are going to make some dovetails out of those. So you want to cut those at 6 inches. Both of those papers get cut at 6 inches. And in your die cut, you actually have one of these already cut for you. Actually, 2 green ones cut for you. We're going to use that as a pattern. So I am going to take both tan pieces of paper, take the one that is a die cut, I'm going to line it up right here towards the end, and then I am just going to trim right along the edge there so that it matches the one from your die cut. And then you know it's nice and even. And you want to do that with the tan paper, and I already cut these down, but also this print as well. So you should have 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 tan. And that is it for the cutting, other than in your die cut you have a strip of rings like this. We are going to cut those so that you have one for each page. You want to cut one that has, you count down 6 and cut. So you have 6 on one end, 7 on the other. Set those aside and you'll use them on 2 different pages. So the cutting is complete, I believe. I'm going to put this away for now. And then we'll get out our background paper. Our background paper, both pages, we're actually going to set up exactly the same. So you can grab, if you have enough space, you can grab both papers with the multicolor dot. And we are going to set up the background for both pages exactly the same, and then we'll work on the embellishments for the first page. So you have 2 blue strips in your packet that are already pre-cut for you, and you will want to take those on both pages. So both pages, the base is going to look exactly the same. You measure up about 2 1/4 inches, I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, 2 1/4 inches from the bottom. So at 2 1/4, this is where you want to start your blue piece. And when you put this on, you want to make it a pocket. So you only want to, if flip this over, you only want to do 2 sides, the bottom, and leave the top open so that you can tuck the little banner pieces in there. So I'm going to put this up about 2 1/4. And again, we're doing this for both pages. Next, you have your 1/2 inch strip that you cut earlier. This is going to go right at the top of that, but again, you only want to put some glue on the very end. So that you can tuck things behind it. I got mine a little bit off here, but I'm just kind of moving quickly. You can stop the video anytime you need to. And then on the bottom, this one doesn't necessarily have to be a pocket because there's nothing going down that far. So at the bottom, you will glue your 2 inch by 12 inch strip right here at the bottom. And I'm still just going to use a little bit of glue, but you can go ahead and glue yours down all the way. And then the other page should look just like it. Once you get that down, and actually, I'm going to point this out too. In all of our kits, we try to use letters or numbers on the actual picture here so that you can see in the directions that it correlates with what is happening in the picture. So it says put your 2-inch strip at B. You can look over here and see this is your 2 by 12-inch strip, and it goes where the letter B is. We try to make it very clear in the picture so that you can put these together on your own, but sometimes it's just easier to watch the video, which is exactly why we're doing this. So you can follow along. Okay, so both pages should look just like this. Then if you look at the picture, you can tuck your, I call these little dovetail banners, tuck these in. We are doing page 1 first. So you can see here, you can look in your picture, but you can see here how these are spaced out on there. And again, you can use any color chalking ink you would like. I used, I think Sunset, let's see. It suggests Sunset, Amaretto, and Blueberry Bliss, but there is lots of colors that match this kit. I used Sunset, so I can show you here what mine ends up looking like. I'm just going to tuck these in. You can glue yours down for sure. Chalk them up how you want and then go ahead and glue them down. And then from there, you really just add the embellishments on. We will do the photo backers, which I have mine chalked here, but I'll show you also how to chalk if you haven't done this before. So our Powder Puff chalking inks, they are a fast drying ink. They go on wet, but they dry very quickly. They leave the soft look of chalk, and they just have a really nice, they're not messy like chalks, but they just have a really nice look for some extra dimension, some extra color to your pages. This one is Sunset that I'm using here. And along the edges, you can actually just run it straight down the edge. I do a little more around the corners, but you can see it gives it a nice, soft, chalky look. So we're going to do our photo backers for this. There's the 2 smaller ones that you have. We are actually going to, I wrote the size down on there, but I think they're the only 2 smaller ones that, yeah, the 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. And then what those go on to are in your die cut. You can see here, this comes out of here. This is going to be a photo backer. This is going to be a photo backer. You'll learn in a lot of our kits, we use every single piece. So if you see something that looks like a negative and you aren't going to use it, I wouldn't throw it away quite yet, because a lot of times we use all the pieces. So on page 1, you are going to need 1 of these and 2 of these for your photo backers. And you can kind of use the picture on your instructions for a loose guide. And I'm just laying these out. You can glue them down as you go if you would like. Or a lot of times I lay mine out completely and then decide to glue it down once I have everything in the spot that I would want it. And then your 4x6 that you cut earlier, that actually goes on this. And again, feel free to chalk it up any color you would like, even on the ones that have multicolor stripes. Let's see, I'm going to use, let's see, a blue here. This one is ocean blue. There's also a deep sea that's a little darker, but I'm going to use the ocean blue. You can see it just kind of adds a little color to it. This gets glued to this photo backer, the white. And you can see now that really we're just taking the embellishments and we're just layering them on. They're small words that fit onto the white die cut. The arrows, they are all cut out singly. With your large circle frame with the arrow, what I do is take your photo, lay your arrow here. Onto your photo. So if you had your photo here, trace the outside so that you can pick this up and cut your photo out to fit. That's what I did here. I just laid this on top of my photo, traced it, the circle, cut it out, then glued that on there. The little circles down here with the frames, the white frames are die cuts. So out of this piece of paper, you can choose whichever ones you want to use here. There's the ones that we used were the world, the car, the suitcase, but whatever makes sense for your layout. There's some airplanes, other suitcases, bicycle. Choose what you would like. And again, you can lay that, let me grab one of those. You can lay that down where you want it, trace lightly around it, cut it out, and then this will glue right on there. And a lot of times I will take a glue pen and just put a few dots on there. Gotta remember to close that. Okay, and then I just lay it on there and then I trim around it. Before it dries, I kind of get underneath there because it doesn't really matter what it looks like on the back side, if it's straight, if it's a nice circle, as long as it fits underneath that white frame. So I just kind of get up under there before it dries completely. And then you have your world, and you do that for whichever you would like to put behind the frame. Next, we have in our die cuts, we have all the backers. And again, both pages are going to have the same background. So then you just look at your photo on your instructions and you can just start layering the die cuts as you go. There's not a lot of tricks to this one. I love this one because it's a pretty simple one to put together. And then I'm just going to take my die cuts, layer them up. I love this layout as it gets closer to summer. I'm getting excited to actually do a little bit of traveling this summer instead of staying home like we've had to the last couple of years, year anyway. Okay, and when you get the little words, they're a little bit delicate, so when you're taking them out, just be a little bit careful. But again, you'll want to just use a glue pen. Put a little bit on. It doesn't have to be completely covered, just a little bit. And then it fits right onto this white backer here. See, these are a little bit delicate, but they bend back into place pretty easily. So this summer, we're excited. We're actually making a trip to Texas with our whole family, go to a family reunion, staying a few extra days. My 3 boys are pretty excited. See, these are a little fragile, but they kind of bend back into place. So as you can see, from here, it really is just layering the pieces. You can match up the compass onto the circle that fits. You can, the circles here, these are for photos, or you could do some journaling in it. This one, the same as the big one on the other page. Where did it go here? This one is going to go up under here. Once you get a photo in there, you'll glue it down there. But this is the same. You can use this to trace the outside, cut a photo to go in the inside there. Everything else here, you have your rings that you cut earlier. There is a little piece that goes over the top. Before you start layering on the second page, you'll want to put the yellow scallop over the top there. So as you can see, this one is a very simple one to put together, and hopefully I made it even more simple by just going step by step. I did not glue mine down, but you kind of get the gist of it, and we got through the cutting diagrams. And from here, you just add your fun photos. And if you are taking a vacation, remember to take lots of pictures this summer. And add to your vacation pages. There's also a few extra vacation pages that we have made for some add-ons this month. So if you'd like to see those, go to our website. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to show you the finished project so that you can see here. Can't wait to add my photos to that. And while you're finishing up, I'll give you a little sneak peek of May's Club Q kit and the papers we'll be using. This is just one of them, but it has some really bright oranges for spring. Let's see how these go. It's a good life, enjoy it. Some fun flowers, we layer those up. Some really pretty, I think we used Montego Bay and Baja Blue and Sunset again. I love the sunset color. Maybe a little pumpkin pie powder puff inks on here. But this is a little sneak peek of part of May's kit. So check that out. And I hope this was helpful. We went through, didn't glue everything down, but there's not too many tricky parts to this. Just go ahead and layer your embellishments on and you'll be set. I hope you enjoy your Club Q this month, and stay tuned on our Facebook page and in your email for next month's Club Q. Thanks so much.